Prepare to attack.
Alright, so the biggest question on Nepal, especially early on, is anyone going to hit a basket? That's really the only important thing that matters. Wait for teams to load in here and try their hoops skills. Check out this lovely area here. No one trying for the baskets.
I am ready to roll.
Okay, well, for the moment, it does look like Tornado.ROX, or just ROX as I call him, is queued up on a pretty standard composition, especially for this section. It's going to be Lightning on the Genji, enough on Winston, Tonic will play Lucio, Claws on Zarya, Nalir is going to be on their Tracer, and Mistakes. So what you don't want to see out of your support, we'll be playing Zenyatta. On the other side, as we roll out with ROX, it's going to be Winghaven on that Winston, unfixed. Of course, we'll play Zarya. We're going to follow Nalir a little bit. Let me get in there. Sorry. See what he gets done as it comes over the bridge. Both teams initiating some nice Winston play there as they're unable to bully out enough in this first fight. Valotaja and Kib do clean up on their own side as the fight continues through the corner. Kib using that angle to his advantage as he goes into the Genji fight, but is too late as Lightning was discorded, taking down Kib with the cleanup crew. That is going to be it as the brawl in the corner finally finishes. Some people on the point, that should be enough as Morte is holding as far back as you want your Zenyatta to hold back. Now, how are they going to engage here? That's a tough room to get through. So right now, just getting on that poke. They know that the poke is coming in from the right side, so they rotate around to the left. Another bridge fight. Here comes that Dragon Blade, though.
Get to cover.
See what Valotaja can do on the cleanup as Kib started off that fight. Valotaja comes in and gets two really late. That is exactly what you want in that fight. We're just going to follow my boy Valotaja on the Tracer. Punk Tracer, no less. So I'm going to see what he wants to do. It's quality emote time there. So Valotaja does come down. He's been great lately. He used to always be a solid McCree. That's all he really played, but as the meta shifted and as he had to play, they were definitely going to try to focus him as he gets bullied out very quickly by the opposing Winston. Comes back in and him and Winghaven clean up. His tracking has been phenomenal, so he's going all the way through. Just a target acquisition. Him and Winston are bullying people out. There goes Lucio as well. Can they deal with this late arriving Genji? They do. That is going to be another quick cleanup fight for Reunited, already at 65%. Valotaja gets the bubble. He's going to roll in and just get that poke. It's a really hard point to engage in, as which side do you come in? You almost need ultimates to come through on King the Point when you're this far behind, but when you're this far behind, you also don't want to be wasting ultimates just to get in, but they are going to jump in. Here comes the sound barrier too, so Valotaja's going to have to back out. He gets the bubble because you have the pulse bomb up. Here's the combo. It's a little too late though. It only takes down one. That is Tonic though. That's an important one as he takes aim on Zenyatta next. Both supports down. That should be it. That might be fight for this Reunited team. That's first stage coming down for Reunited, and it wasn't even really that close. It started off pretty decent. I thought Enough had some nice kills on his Winston. That's exactly what you want from your Winston early on. And it's kind of the kill feed is always going to be who gets the first kill, Winston or Zenyatta. It's going to be one of those two. Winston got it going on first for this T-ROX team, or Tornado.ROX, if you will. But they were unable to really follow up on it, and keeping Valotaja and Kib alive as long as they were alive, because they were never able to get to the back line and take down supports, means that Valotaja and Kib are always going to be on cleanup crew, which is always going to be kind of brutal to deal with. So we'll see if the rollout goes in much the same way. I kind of want to keep eyes on Enough here to see if he can get the kills that he got here before. So we're going to look at his initiation, as it was really strong last time. They're playing a little further back though, as they're going to have eyes on him, so he's not going to be able to jump over the edge. A little bit late on his jump, but he comes in, he's trying to take down Zarya. I'm not sure that's the most ideal target. He has to get out of there. course, the moment I switch out Balataja, he gets a 2K. So he's back in on the cleanup crew. He'll take out Claws. Kib also gets some work done too. Balataja in and out of that fight as he takes down a couple with him. Balataja's Tracer is insane. Let's see how far they want to try to push forward as they're just making sure they secure the point. The poke is almost completely free on certain heroes, so as long as Balataja does not get discorded and then clipped down, he should be okay.
Let's get patched up.
I did press spacebar. I did. Trust me, I tried. Alright, so we'll see where this next initiation can come from. It does not look like they really have enough in here. That's enough entry. It's a really nice entry kill by enough on Morte. Claws then cleans it up too. Tanks doing a ton of work for ROX right now. Can they continue to do so? Let's see what Kib can get done here, too. We're watching a lot of Balataja, but it might be Kib's time to shine. He's at 83%. If he can win this Genji duel, he's going to set himself up for a nice Dragon Blade as well, which would be largely unopposed. So not able to get on the point and stall it out. Balataja was trying there, too, but a little bit too late on both sides of that. He is now charged up, and he does not waste any time. Dragon Blade gets one, gets another slash in, gets the second slash. Should he clean up? He gets another tank kill. That should be a very nice cleanup on Zarya, but she does bubble out. He's just going to be patient. She is not long for this world anyway. Reunited flips this point back. So where is the initiation going to come from here? It has been the tanks, but is there any follow-up? I think the tanks have been actually playing pretty well for ROX, as Claws and Enough got 2 early kills to start off that fight. No one else came in to really help them out, though, and now they're getting poked out again. Now, a lot of this problem comes in. The poke has been so strong from Reunited. They are going to engage with the Sound Barrier. Here comes the Pulse Bomb as well. Nalir takes down 3. This should be ROX going out and taking down this fight. What a combo there. Sound Barrier into Graviton, into Pulse Bomb. Yes, you had to use 3, but that is a 3 you don't mind using. Pretty nice, though. We'll see where the initiation comes from. I do want to start giving a little more love to some of the tanks here. Let's see what Unfixed has for us as we come in. He does have his Graviton ready too, so at any moment that could be what's on the menu. Kib does take down Nalir to start it off. They're just going to bum rush in. Going to wait for that Winston shield to go down, see if they even need to use this Graviton. There's 4 over there looking pretty juicy. He's getting his energy up pretty high as he tries to take down this Winston. That is a nice response to a Dragon Blade as well to at least zone out Genji for a moment. Lightning does not really get bothered by it though as he takes down Kib in the back line. The Unfixed, again, not long for this world as he goes down there as well. Only 3 up for Reunited, but they're making their best of it as Winghaven comes back in here. Pulse Bomb goes through, does not take down anyone. We're going to see what Morte has going as he might have to pop a Transcendence. No Transcendence needed, just going to murder people instead. Not very harmonious there. That is pretty nice there, Mort. So that's a nice cleanup there, but wow, ROX looks a lot better on this fight. They nail their combinations there. Unfortunately for them, they're going to have to push into a 3 ultimated Reunited team where they've got none of their own. However, the ones that worked out for them really well last time are on the verge of being back and completed here. That is going to be their Sound Barrier and their... Sound Barrier and Pulse Bomb, but Kib in the backline, discorded or not, takes down 2. I caught the last half of that at the very least, so he's going to try to get out of there. Discorded, it's kind of rough on Genji. Discorded, he just get breathed on, and that's a little bit too late, but Winghaven's got his back as he avenges his Genji brother. They're going to try to stall him out before they can even get to this point, and they might just do so. That is Reunited flipping it around, but ROX looked much, much better there.
Score 2-0.
All right. Well, I can make one promise that the camera will only improve as we go through the day. That's essentially the first time I've ever observed an Overwatch game, so I'm taking your notes in the chat. I know free cam was a little wonky for some people. I was just trying to get my feet under me. We'll do a little more first-person cam here and see how it goes. Let's give some love to Lightning at the very least, see how he wants to start out the match. We've given a lot of love to Kib and opposing Genjis. We'll see where his push comes into. This is going to be a brawl up top anyway. The really interesting thing to see is to look if Lightning is going to be following in his Winston on the dive, or if he's going to be playing back and trying to reflect a diving Winston. So that's kind of the difference between these two. He starts his reflect off right away, has to get out of there, looking for these jumps. He gets in, Kib and Winghaven do combine. There goes Kib, gets another kill. Very nice for him as he tries to get this reflect going. Gets in. He is really, really low as lightning, taken out late by Valutaja. So to the victor of that fight go the spoils as we get on to Valutaja here. See what he wants to get done on this poke. Extremely safe with the Tracer to do so. Now that he's discorded, he's just going to wait, I think, for the discord to wear off before he just backs out and tries to get in again. He gets a Harmony Orb, does not really even need it, but that's some good just tracking to keep eyes on the team. That is one of your main jobs as Tracer, eyes on the team. This is your actual job as Tracer. Kill the supports in the back line. He does a great job of that, looking for more. He's got Pulse Bomb up. He is looking to murder. Mistakes had already gone down. Can he get in? Get some nice damage on Lightning. Should make Lightning think twice about what he's going to do next. Discorded, taken down. That's Reunited, cleaning up that fight. Alright, so let's see what they're going to have in store for us. Lightning's got Dragon Blade up, so let's see what he can get done here. That's going to be a lot on him. They only have him and the Pulse Bomb up from Nalir. Actually, Nalir had an amazing Pulse Bomb last game, so let's see if he can hit it. He's might going to wait for Claus. Claus is the one who enabled that amazing Pulse Bomb, but Nalir is going to be having to get some work done on the level of Valutaja. That's really nice. He contributes to take down Valutaja. Kib takes down Lightning mid-Dragon Blade. Glad I didn't stay on Lightning there. But he's able to get on the point. Is Nalir. Can he nail this Pulse Bomb? He's going to have to be patient now as the Transcendence comes out from Zenyatta. He's got to back out. Yeah, this is too late. There's almost absolutely nothing he can gain off of this Pulse Bomb. Even if he hits it right now, everyone's just going to be back. He needs to save it for his team. He needs to save it for Claus. Can he protect Claus, who's already discorded? Mistakes goes down to Mistakes takes down Cruz, actually. So that's a nice way to end that fight for him, as they're going to be looking for the next initiation. Oh, Claus. Claus needed to stay alive there as he was their best hope to come in. Kib is taking down Valutaja. That is the DPS for Reunited just running wild yet again. Just too much to even check out. We need to see what Claus can get done. Claus needs to be the man who makes this next push happen. He dies really early again. They were pushed all the way back to point. That is a very quick first map for Reunited, and as good as ROX looked on the second point, it's as bad as they looked on the first and last. So this is going to be the one shining moment. This is a Pulse Bomb and a Graviton. This is what got them the momentum that they needed to bring this point back. So it's a nice come on through here, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, the 3K is nice, but that was really the only good thing that they had going for them. So, rough stuff there for ROX, but it is going to be ROX's pick next. We'll see what map they want to go to. Of course, in the map pool, Numbani, Anubis, Route 66, and Lijiang remaining. I cannot imagine they want to go to Lijiang. That just makes no sense to me after what just happened on Nepal. However, the two maps are different enough, I suppose, that there's teams that are really, really bad at Nepal who like playing Lijiang and are good at it. So we'll see if that ends up coming to fruition. But let's look at the maps that Reunited banned. So it's well, Reunited is the one that banned Lijiang. So yeah, this is ROX's choice, and it is going to be Lijiang Tower. So making me look a little bit foolish, but why not? I'm all for it. Let's go to Lijiang. They need more work out of their DPS, more consistent work out of their DPS if they're going to be able to pull this back from Reunited. Alright, so I will let them know I'm ready, because they've been kind of waiting for me. Thanks for all the love in chat. I will try to improve things as they go on today. You are noticing my very first time behind the camera, so we're doing our best here. As we, some of you are now noticing, and this is probably a good thing, just how good ZP is at doing the camera and casting. It is a difficult thing. He's had much more experience with it than I have, but that is no excuse. I will take your feedback and I will do my best with it as we roll out into our second King of the Hill. King of the Hill is kind of not fair for me to have to start on as my first game as Observer, because King of the Hill is absolutely insane to observe. I'm just lucky that there is one hero limit, and this is not a 5 Tracer King of the Hill, so thank God for small miracles, I suppose. Alright, I don't see anything too off the walls, very interesting or anything like that from either side here. It looks like they're going to be running their same stuff. Now on this map, on a very rare occasion of King of the Hill, you can see perhaps a McCree if the Tracer's giving you a ton of trouble. It's one of the only variants that you'll end up seeing on this map. I mean, your tanks are pretty much set on King of the Hill. You're going to run Winston, you're going to run Zarya. So there's not a whole lot of areas for Reinhardt, maybe a Mei in very specific circumstances, but that is pretty rare. So we're just going to watch the rollout here. Nalir, of course, is going to go to the right side and try to get some flank on with his team. We will give eyes on him, hopefully. Yeah, we'll watch Nalir here early on. As I mentioned, he has to be one of the stars for this team if they want to get work done. He's working really well with his DPS combo right now, but they need to be outperforming Balotaja and Kib. A task easier said than done, or at least performing on a more consistent level. See, that's a kill that he needs to get back there. He did chip him up enough. That's nice for Lightning to come in at the end. Lightning takes down Morte, and he takes down Cruz. Nalir in with the cleanup, and that is going to be a nice first take for this ROX team. Very nice for them. They did get more consistent cleanup crew for their DPS. I really liked how Nalir and Lightning were working together there. We'll see what the man himself, Balotaja, has going on in response. As he's got his pulse bomb ready, he's going to try to come out too. Consistent damage from him has been the key for this reunited team on his Tracer. Nice pulse bomb comes in, takes down Enough, who is one of his biggest problems. He does not have rewind up. Can he get out? He gets a really clutch Zarya bubble. Fearless stays in on that. My god, down to 18 health, stays in on the fight, able to get the cleanup on Nalir. That is just knowing that your team is going to save you. He has the Zarya bubble. Immediately he gets saved by some help from his healer as well. And okay, I guess that's not loser picking map. I'm not entirely sure what they have going on here. It might just be ban order, I believe. So Lijiang was one of the last maps banned. Thank you for the correction in chat. So this was not necessarily Rox's pick. It's just a pre-ordered map. So another pulse bomb. Balotaja just trying to bully onto Enough, but Enough is not having any of it as he takes the opposing Zarya off the edge, and now the cleanup as the chaos comes onto the point. But this should be enough. It is just Balotaja and Winghaven on the point. They're going to be annoying as possible, but here comes Kib trying to turn it around. Takes one down for himself, but that is a little too late as Balotaja and Winghaven are cleaned up. Kib maybe a little over-aggressive there as he was trying to get in on the cleanup to help out his team. We'll see if this next Graviton comes in. Claus had a rough last couple of games trying to get his Graviton off. Died 3 times in a row with it, unable to even get out of spawn. So he's going to try to bait them in and then get this Graviton. Graviton gets absolutely nothing. We'll call it a zoning Graviton just to be nice. He gets grabbed himself, and here comes the cleanup on that. Unfixed, doing it all by himself. As that was just a Graviton versus a Graviton, and one was better than the other. So I think they would like to have that Graviton back. A little rough from Claus, who has not had the best set of games thus far. Reunited, able to flip that point back, but they are still losing this stage so far. Morte have his Transcendence. Balotaja's got his Pulse Bomb, but we'll see if we can get eyes on Lightning here. He's got his Dragon Blade at the ready. But that is actually going to be Kib bust out his Dragon Blade, and that Transcendence comes out. So Kib not showing up too hard in the kill feed as Balotaja gets it done. Are we going to see a counter Dragon Blade out of Lightning? We should hear momentarily, but all of his team is dead. He would be a waste of a Dragon Blade. Tries to get back to his friends. That is a little too late, and here comes the rush onto the point. Enough has had enough of this world. He goes down as well. We're getting down to the last push for ROX. So I'm going to put eyes back on Lightning because he's going to need this if they're going to take this back. Mistakes is going to have Transcend. They're also going to have Pulse Bomb. They need to find a way out. They've had a struggle breaking out of this. Already taking 150 damage on his entry. He's waiting for that Transcend. Nice. Pretty good position here. That comes down. He's going to be able to get his Dragon Blade out, but nothing is Balotaja. Counters with a Pulse Bomb in that grab. Not enough from Lightning. Balotaja takes it down. That is going to be another quick stage for Reunited. They are up 3-2. Well, they were up 4-0 in stages, 1 map to 0, and 1 stage here on Lijiang. And so far, there just has not been enough consistency out of this ROX team to be able to stay here. take a moment to catch my breath. Alright.
Wow. It's an honor to meet a member of the
I want to
Shanghai.
see if Claus can play a little better. I think they've gotten the play they need out of enough. I think he has been absolutely pretty decent on this. In fact, I want to watch him as his rolls out here. His initiations have been good. Initiating on this map as Winston is usually pretty decent. We'll see if he rolls down left and then tries to jump in right to catch any stragglers who are rolling through the stairs, which is generally something you'll see people do. There's just a lot of damage coming in on these teams on the approach, but really nice as Nalir was able to take down Balotaja early. Unfixed has been absolutely unchained lately, has been an issue for opposing teams. Every opposing team has had an issue with Unfixed. His flex has been phenomenal. I mentioned it in previous casts, probably the most improved player of the last 6 months, has just been off the level. So he's going to come in, he's getting bullied down to only 100 health, backs out. His charge is pretty high, though. He's about to be glowing hard. He knows that he's got some support in the back lines. He has to keep those supports alive. He does. Goes in there, takes down the threat to his Zenyatta, but the threats just keep on coming if you're Zen, and Nalir does take down the back line of that Zen. So we'll see how they're going to try to get in here. Maybe Nalir can get some work done. With his pulse bomb, with his entry, definitely a free entry as Tracer. It's something they need to take more advantage of. As Nalir tries to get in on his opposing number. That's not necessarily a fight I would want to pick if I was Nalir. I would try to avoid Balotaja, not necessarily be the one I'm going right after. Here comes a Graviton on the other side as the Tracer fight was mounting. Kib cleans up the rest of that Graviton. A late Graviton comes in from, late Dragon Blade comes in from Lightning, and he gets cleaned up right away. Lightning has had nice moments on the cleanup with Nalir, but again, there just has not been the consistent DPS play out of this ROX team that you need to compete with the banyans of consistency that is this reunited team. Now, where are they going to be able to enter in? Here comes enough, as they said, and here comes the Soundbearer. Soundbearers on both sides. Transcendence comes out. It is absolute bedlam down there as both teams all hitting Q at the same time, trying to get through, this map closed out, or at least get some pressure on it from ROX. Claus is trying to take down the Winston. Here comes an opposing Graviton. Do they have the cleanup for it? They have to have the cleanup for it. Nalir gets in. That is Claus doing his own cleanup crew as they finally take it back. Balotaja and Kib trying to still fight on the point. Is it going to be enough? Can they bring this back? He's got Winghaven with him. They're all incredibly low. 1v3. Can Balotaja gut it out? I believe in Balotaja, but only 65 health on the rewind is not going to be enough. Let's see what Unfixed has in store for his next trick in his hat. They're going to probably wait to come in here. You don't want to bust a Graviton onto a team when you're down 3v6. So they're going to wait for this next. This Graviton, if it hits 2 or 3, should be the closeout ultimate of this game. They all do rotate, but that is a late rotation. This Transcendence comes in and is saving everyone. Not the burst damage they need to come through that as Balotaja takes down one. Unfixed pays his life for it. Was Balotaja going to be able to bring it all the way back? No, they did not have the pulse pump in that fight. He takes down a very low Winston. A super nice rewind with 3 health left. Has Lightning in his sights, tries to take him down. Balotaja is getting ganged up on, and that is going to be ROX holding this point for now. Lightning has his ultimate up, Tonic with their ult up, so they're in a decent position to hold this for at least the next fight.
Oh, let's break it.
So the Soundbearer comes down. Here comes that odd McCree pick, but that is 1 kill for Lightning. He is looking for more. He's looking for where they rotate it out. They actually just evade him completely. He's going to try to just take down Lucio instead, but he knows there is a lurking McCree up there that he has to be super careful of. He's been taking so much damage from that, but his Lucio is alive. He's getting healed up. Can he get this pick? He's still chasing this Lucio, skating his heart out. Tonic finally takes down Cruz. I think they just had enough of him. See what Nalir can bring as he has his pulse bomb, and Kib was the one who switched onto the McCree, but Kib died late. Tonic with some work done there too. Tonic with a couple nice kills on his Lucio. One more fight left, and it's going to be kind of a closeout opportunity for Claus, who I think needs an opportunity, and he's got his Graviton at the ready.
Огонь по готовности!
There's the Graviton in there. The Soundbarrier comes in to try to save it. It is not quite enough, but 3 do escape after that Soundbarrier. Enough with the cleanup crew is enough. There is only 4 on the point for Reunited. Can Claus finish this out with just his beam damage, but he is going to get collapsed upon by this Reunited team. Do they have enough? Kills coming down left and right for ROX. A late Dragon Blade from Lightning should be enough. There is a High Noon somewhere, but that is not nowhere near enough. What time it is? That is ROX taking their first stage away from Reunited.
Score 1-1.
Oh, time to accelerate. I am loving this.
We all have our jobs to do.
Alright, so just kind of conversing with chat there too. Yeah, the stream is a little bit lower quality today, but I'm just running it on a single PC. We wanted to make sure that I could do everything I needed to do and just keep it all at a consistent rate. We didn't want to have any lagouts or anything like that, but we do have a dual PC setup in the works coming, so even when ZP's not here, I will be able to do it all myself. We're going to watch Claus again here as he had a nicer game last time with the initiation. Actually, let's see what Winghaven has up for us as he jumps in on both of this back line. Winghaven with the excellent disengage there is really the crucial part of that fight. What Winghaven did jumping in like that is he gets to the back lines and cuts off 2. He essentially turned that fight into the advantage of Reunited just by existing in front, cutting off the Zarya and cutting off the back line. If the Zarya is not back there, that Zenyatta dies, so she has no choice but to stay with him. But that gives his team a 5v4, and when you're giving Reunited an advantage like that, you're going to have a bad time. We'll see if Balataja goes for a really aggressive pulse here. Because he got it up so early, I feel you can waste it. There it is. It comes down. It does not get anyone as the Zarya shields did come in, and Nalir is going to take that as his cue to pick on Balataja to see if he can get there, but you're picking... This is actually going to be a really interesting fight, because there's packs everywhere for both of these two. Who's going to get the next shot? Oh my goodness. A first rewind comes out of Nalir. Nalir is going for the pack. He gets the pack and the backside. This is an epic Tracer battle. Nalir pulls it off. Yes, Lightning got a couple kills on Genji. I'm sorry. I'm biased. I like the Tracer fights a little bit more. So Kib is staying on this McCree though. But yeah, even Nalir in chat knows that that was an epic Tracer fight. Kib is not alive yet. Next time Kib comes up, we're going to try to check him out, because I don't think he's getting a whole lot done on his McCree. I could be mistaken, but it does not seem like the last couple lives in McCree, last stage and this one, have necessarily paid off for him. Now, does Tonic have the break it down? Yes, he is going to break it down. That is going to be the initiation they want. The counter Transcend comes in so that his team does not get completely cut off or booped off the bridge. So that is a Graviton coming in late on Reunited. Is there the follow-up there? There is. It is in the form of a primary. Enough has been the best follow-up for this team when they've absolutely needed it. He's followed up the Graviton more often than not. He's looking to take down his counterpart now in Winghaven. There goes Winghaven. I cannot say ha 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 enough about enough. There's really, I couldn't figure out another word, but really he's been playing absolutely phenomenal for this ROX team, and I think if you continue to get the play out of him, they're going to have a better time on this. I think maybe that's why they like Lijiang. It does seem to be an overall better stage for Winston. He can utilize these corridors and his jump ability much better. He's looking for the cut in half. I don't necessarily know if he needs Primal Rage there. I think you could have taken down Zenyatta without it, but it's okay, because who am I to argue with something that absolutely worked? He completely cut Zen off of that team. Now with the cleanup on the point for enough. He's in there. He's got Genji in his sights. There goes Winghaven on the other side. Kib not dead yet, but not long for this world, as he's getting fully down, chased out. Enough playing phenomenally right now, and there's no way Reunited brings this point back. Just as I say that, Balataja is going to try to prove me wrong, but they're really going to have to wait for Unfixed. That's what they should be doing. Unfixed is going to have his Pulse Bomb up, his Graviton up, rather, so should be pretty good for Unfixed incoming here. Where's the follow-up? Balataja has the Pulse Bomb. He gets in a little bit late on it, but is able to drop it. Takes down Enough, who has been an issue for him. Kib on the cleanup crew as well. Kib, most notably, off of that McCree that got very little done for them, and he is going to be on his Genji instead. So that's Reunited finally flipping him back. They cannot lose another fight. Now, I think the next fight is probably going to start with this fellow right here, as he's going to break it down to get over the bridge. He's got to be careful. Almost gets knocked off. This should be a panic break it down, like, as soon as possible. He's got to be afraid. Tonic, you're scaring me. Tonic! Tonic! No! Alright, well, Tonic wanted to break it down, got knocked around a lot of different times. I thought he had moments where he could have broken it down, and even when he got knocked off the edge, he would have been able to keep his team alive. But they're going to just kind of mount up their ults. And I actually, in retrospect, really like that decision, because now you can stack all 6 ults. Look at this. It's 6v0. This is a fight that they should win by all means. That's not the best way to start it, though, as Claus goes off the cliff with the best initiation ult they had. Tonic is still going to hold on to his break it down, his sound barrier for the moment. Balotaja is cleaning up the backline, though, too. They do not have another chance. I cannot believe how badly this is going for ROX. This was their fight to win steadily, handily, with a 6-0 ult advantage. It started with Claus getting knocked off there, but I am a little bit lost for words.
Score 2-1.
Okay.
Let's up the tempo. Oh, yeah.
There were some moments there for ROX where they had chances. I think Tonic getting knocked around, maybe that's one that's fine. You don't have to break it down, because if Winston's knocking you around, you're in trouble anyway. But Claus cannot get knocked off that bridge. That is your best initiation ult, and no possible excuse for that. I mean, you have to go in the bridge, right? But I don't know. Claus has had some highlights and some lowlights here, to say the least. We're going to follow Balotaja out on the rollout. He is already out there looking for that chip damage. So Balotaja gets a ton of damage. That is the cleanup onto mistakes. That backline has been brutalized by Balotaja. They will be having nightmares of Punk Tracer if they weren't already. Balotaja has been absolutely the bane of Mistake's existence back there. And even when he doesn't get the full kill, he gets enough that he has to get out of the fight. This is going to be a chase. Can he get in on enough? He does. Him and Kib on that dynamic DPS duo have been getting work done on this stage. And now where does the engagement come from? Who's going to be able to come out? Because enough died very late. Claus has to be careful that he does not get picked up off here too, so he was getting bullied out a little bit by the Genji, but they really don't have quite the initiation. They're waiting for their big man in charge right here, and that is enough. He tries to get in, but look at all the damage he takes just on his initiation. Down to 20 health. There he goes. He is down. Not enough support from his supports or his DPS. Enough cannot do it by himself. Lightning does take down Winghaven, but I think it's going to be all for naught. Claus looks like he's going to be bullied out as well. Enough is going to get back into this fight, but let's see what Kib is getting done. He did have his Dragon Blade out, took down 2. We saw the tail end of that as he was able to take down again the supports for this team, and they're getting bullied out to this back point, and it is looking pretty tough. How are they going to engage? How are they going to come through here? Again, I think it's going to come off the back of enough. They're going to have to take a different angle, though. They do find the right angle at the very least. Some nice chip damage starting them off. Gives them all a chance to come in, but they do bust out a support ultimate. That's the Transcendence. Here comes a sound barrier from Reunited. Can they do anything with that? Let's see what Nalir has. What Nalir has in mind with this Pulse Bomb. He does take down Cruz. It is too late to get out of the fight. He should try to get as much value as possible as enough continues to chime in. Nalir also locked into Mortal Kombat with Balotaja, gets pushed back into the Reunited tanks as he tries to escape Balotaja's mighty Pulse pistols, and it has simply been a rough go of it. Balotaja looking to close this out with a Pulse Bomb. Him and Unfixed are going to be just camping this door together, looking for that combo of Graviton Pulse Bomb. They know that they're not coming out this door, right? They've done enough damage that they're never going to want to come out this door again. There comes one Graviton. That is from Claus. They're going to get their combo off, and that combo is huge because it takes down Unfixed in this fight. Now, they're going to try to initiate back on the point as Kib is getting work done with his Genji. Kib and Morte combined for a couple, and now as the last remnants of ROX trickle onto this point, trying to not go down 2-0, they will be unsuccessful in it. That is Reunited taking this map away, and the best chance they had to bring it back was the last stage. They were 6-0 on ults. I still cannot believe they lost that fight. That is something that should not happen. Here comes Unfixed on the Zarya. I love Zarya, you should love Zarya, every team should have Zarya.
Огонь по готовности!
Alright, so Kib, typical Genji, is at level 239. I guarantee you like 200 of those levels are probably all at Genji. Just messing with you, Kib. When you get 62 eliminations and 61% kill participation, no one cares that you're a level 400, 500 Genji. So, well done on Kib. He was just solid. He's just rock solid. We've always known he can play a good Genji, and he's shown it. Even post-patch, he's been playing a phenomenal Genji. And there's really no stopping Kib. There's no stopping this DPS, well, on King of the Hill especially. Balataja sometimes has to flex off on different things that I don't think he's quite as comfortable on because his Tracer has been absolutely next level lately, and he looks like an unstoppable Tracer. So if this is the ban order, as I've been instructed in chat, again, just trying to come in here late and do this Lenovo Cup, try to get some games on the channel for you guys. I hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. I know I am now because we're watching Overwatch. We've seen Nepal, we've seen Lijiang. The next map, I believe, if it does hold sway, since it's not lower pick, it is going to be Numbani. And I love me some Numbani. We'll see what we end up on there. It could be anything. I always say that going into Numbani, that I never know what I'm going to see, and it generally holds true. It's still a map that you'll see bastions on for the love of all things. So, I think teams are just taking a momentary break. Nope, there it goes. That's on Numbani. I will let them know I'm ready. I'm always ready. We're jumping right back into game.
Traveling to Numbani.
Let's see what flights are canceled. Moscow's not coming in. Neither is Madrid. Sorry, Frankfurt. And, no, Austin. No Austin either. So, a lot of major European cities, and then Austin. Alright, we'll see what people end up running on this map for the moment. Let's go check this out, see if I can get out of these doors. I don't have the mastery that ZP does. I think I'm locked in here. I am not locked in here. Alright. Want to check out that concert when we get there? Let's see where they're going to set up, because Cruz, for the moment, is on this Torb. I think they're still talking it over, as they've yet to really leave spawn. But here comes Pirate Cruz. He is on this Torb. Alright, so we're going to see something a little bit different. At the very least. I really think it's cool to set up on the stairs, and cool, by that I mean if you're running it, it's cool. If you're playing against it, you wish stairs were never invented, because this sightline over here is pretty brutal. He's going to set it up actually on the angle that's going to cover most of the stairs, but anyone who comes over top is going to be in for a rude awakening as well, as they're going to expect it on this pillar here, which is a lot of teams set up, and then when they don't see it, they're going to try to come over top, and that is not going to work out. But the person coming over top is probably going to be Mistakes first, as they make some odd switches here. Mistakes off of that support now onto the Diva instead. They're running a single support in Tonic, and they're running triple tank instead. So they know kind of what REUNITED wants to run. He gets right back there onto that turret, looking for a little more up top, as the initiation comes in from enough on the other side, but enough taken down very early in that fight. So Mistakes trying to stay alive in his Diva, but I think most of his team is dead. But Nalir with a couple nice kills trying to keep them back in it. Diva on Diva action as Mistakes remains alive. There goes he out of his mech. Are we going to have a Bunny Blaster fight? Bunny Blaster fight in full effect in the hallway. Why do you have to stop that Bunny Blaster fight? It was so enjoyable. It's coming back, and both Tracers rotate to take down the opposing out of mech Divas. That's not fair. You guys had a fair fight. You chose not to fight fair. No mercy from me. Nalir goes down to a pulse bomb in the back, and that's REUNITED completely set up now, as Cruz is going to be collecting scrap, feeding his teammates armor. We'll see who gets to eat the armor. I would imagine the Zen gets a pack, but I don't know where he wants to put it. He's just going to toss it on the ground. He's going to eat some himself. So Crew's going to set up in this backline now. It's important to rotate your turrets when you're running a Torb as well. So That is where he wants to put his turret. We're going to actually go into free cam a little bit here because Numbani can be a little enormous. So there goes the double tank initiation onto the turret. Kib is going to come down with his Dragon Blade, try to get to the back line. He is chasing Tonic. There goes Tonic. Kib looking for more as he tries to spot down Claws in the background, takes him down with the help of his friend. Lightning trying to come in, eats a dash from Kib. Here comes the Genji battle. Are they going to be chasing each other? There's been a lot of one-on-one battles as these opposing numbers try to take themselves out. Kib does take down Lightning and throws a spray down on the stairs for good measure.
I require healing.
No, I don't show the oil ad at the start. That's what ZP does, by the way. He's a sellout. You guys know that I would never sell out. Alright, so Kib's gonna try to get this poke, and he has to be really careful. They are still running this triple tank, but they switch onto a different tank. Claws off of the Zarya onto a Roadhog. Hopefully he has better luck with it than he has had thus far. It's been an up and down game for Claws. He tries to hit the hook. The sound barrier has come in. Can Kib stay alive? Lightning and Nalir should be looking for damage here. Lightning is going to be on his own. Zenyatta as well, so he's got his Dragon Blade in the back line. He's getting bullied out by Winston. Nalir already went down. It is only Lightning alive. Not long for this world regardless. 1 HP is not enough to live, and now he's going to have to be pushing into a bunch of ultimates. But there's some decent ultimates up for the offensive team as well. The problem is the initiation kind of has to go on the turrets unless they just choose to ignore it and go down the back line. So you might see a couple of tanks jump right in here early on. Very possible, but maybe look for a hook. They're gonna take the same angle right at the center. Mistakes is gonna go right in on that turret. They're gonna double tank bomb the turret, pulls them both out of positions, that leaves their backline exposed, and Kib punishes them for it. Kib takes down the Lucio early. Now he's looking for more. He's got more in their sights. Gets a nice dash to the Tracer. Forces the rewind. That forces a retreat out of Tracer, and that is another completely one-sided fight for Reunited.
Cursory evaluation.
You hear the music. That is Doom music incoming. Oh, this is the best benefit of solo casting. I actually get to turn my music on. So that is... It's going to be the very last push from ROX, and it's not going to be the greatest one either. So we're going to see, maybe they come in, maybe try to get a self-destruct miracle, because they do need a miracle here. Maybe Lightning can get something done. He does get to the back line. He is going to have Dragon Blade as long as they keep contesting. So the bomb does come out from D.Va, does not get enough. Dragon Blade comes in late. A nice Dragon Blade takes down Cruz to start it off. Gets another kill in Morte. This is looking as good as it's looked for ROX all day. The stall's going to come in from Reunited as that Dragon Blade does go off. Enough is trying to get some kills. Balataja staying alive, trying to get more work done, but Nalir takes down Balataja with a pulse bomb of his own. Kib, can he bring it back? No, off the Blade of Lightning, it looks like ROX is going to be able to maybe take this point. I'm never calling this Numbani point early, though. Winghaven continues to delay. They are not trying to reinforce this Numbani first point. ROX back against the wall, able to take the first point and keep themselves alive at the very least. So Cruz is staying on this Torb, and here's the reason why. Molten Core's really good. It's a really good ultimate, and he's got Molten Core up. So he's gonna need to stay alive. He needs to should not even really be peeking here, because you can be a mile across the map and nail your Molten Core. So Balataja gets a pick there early. I just want to keep all eyes on Cruz. A Molten Core Horde Torb is something beautiful to watch, but he's already around the corner. He might try to reset up his turret, because there's nothing more frustrating as a Torb than when you want to fight, you can't fight. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to rotate his Molten Core, a bull turret way up front here. We'll see, are they going to come in? I will switch back to him if it comes down, and it does come down. Of course, the moment I switch off him, here comes Cruz. He gets discorded, but he's got a big health pool. It was up at 500. He Molten Cored the heck out of that team. I do not think they were expecting it as he comes around. Now let's watch someone who is not the height of a dwarf. We'll see what enough can get done. He's also switched onto the Zarya too. Claws now rotated onto Reinhardt. So the initiation does come in. Claws is unfortunately discorded though, as he tries to get a Nalir with a couple nice kills as well. Claws rotating around the background. Actually, this is enough, rotating around the backline as he tries to take down these tanks of Reunited. Gets some nice work done there, but it has been the DPS of Reunited constantly putting a wrench in these plans. Here comes a late pulse bomb, really softens up the Lucio. That Lucio's got to be dead on the chase. Balataja does not let supports live. He rewinds out, but he gets caught into a rewind, into an Earth Shatter. That Reinhardt continuing to try to get some work done as these tanks trickle back on the point. That is one of the problems of trying to hold that far forward on the point, is that yes, they were getting consistent kills, but the reinforce is right around the corner, so the reinforce is eventually going to get them an ultimate advantage. That nice Earthshatter from Claus accidentally caught Valataja, but it was enough. They're pressing pretty far forward now. Claus with a couple nice kills. They got to be careful not to go too far forward as Nalir goes down early to Kib. That is a lot of their fighting power. There is probably going to be one more fight. Is enough going to be able to hit this Graviton to lock them out so they can get this free point. He does try. He does get a big Graviton. Keeps most of the damage out of there, but this point is absolutely contested as everyone drops everything. We are in double irises. Here comes an Earthshatter again from Claus, who is charging up rather quickly. A Pulse Bomb comes in late, but not enough to take down Reunited. Lightning looking for the cleanup. Claus looking for it too. ROX looks like they are going to be pulling this back as only Cruz remains on the point. Kib trying to get some heroics. Kib not long for this world. He goes down as well. Back against the wall again is ROX. They finally get that second point. 90 seconds to finish the map and what looked like was going to be a first point hold for Reunited. Winghaven has gotten jealous. As a Reinhardt main himself, he has seen a couple Earthshatters. He is ready on his own Reinhardt now. We'll see what kind of Earthshatter he gets lined up here. He's looking to get right in. Speed. He might just hit it. Yeah, he's going to hit it right away. No one expects the Reinhardt to just run in and throw it down. No regard for his life or anyone else's. A suicidal Winghaven goes in there and nails a super nice Earthshatter. Wing! Alright, we'll see what the opposing Reinhardt can do as we are fully into the Rein Games section of the game. Alright, so Claus with another Earthshatter up. He's hit a couple nice ones so far already, trying to be on the Redemption Tour after the King of the Hill Zarya was not working great. A great Zarya bubble keeps Claus alive, even available for this. A kind of panic Earthshatter as he only gets one down and not able to stay healthy for the cleanup. Kib is on the tour, cleaning everyone up himself. Got the Dragon Blade early, now on the chase. Able to take down 2, able to take down 3. This is looking pretty grim for ROX as they have 10 seconds to push out to this last point. Morte Valataja on the gates, take out 2. That is 3 kills really early on. 6v3, 6v2 now. That is it. Reunited does hold on to this map. That's the progress. There it is, but it looked like they should have been able to hold on at first point. ROX with some nice switches late and some nice heroics out of their Genji to pull it back for him. Alright, so as we go through the plaza, checking out this landscape here, the Doomfist movie opening soon. It's gonna be a good one. Heard Brad Pitt's playing Doomfist, should be good. I should probably raise my settings when I'm broadcasting, but oh well, you guys can see what's happening. That is the important thing. It looks like ROX is going to take a page out of that Reunited book, and Tonic will be the one running the defensive tour. We'll see where he wants to set up as they roll out here. The side of Reunited so far looks pretty standard though. Kib and Cruz on their old standbys of Genji and Lucio. Valataja of course on that Tracer. Unfixed and Winghaven. Winghaven on the Winston unfixed, flexing onto Diva. I imagine Morte will be up on to the Zenyatta. There it is. So a lot of interesting stuff coming out from ROX, as they know that they're going to have to put up a solid defense just to stay in this set. So Tonic is going to set up on the stairs, the Cheese Torb spot. Really brutal spot. Please don't play it against me in competitive or quick play or ever against anyone. Have a soul. Lightning will be playing Pharah, so we're just definitely going to be checking out his POV early on. He's taken to the skies by Mistakes, who is on the Mercy, trying to not make any of those. Claws will be on the Roadhog, enough on the Winston, and Nalir is going to be playing the Tracer. So a single support here, and it is Mistakes. Not a whole lot of self-sustain for the rest of the team too. A lot of this damage is going to be permanent, because you have to imagine Mistakes is going to be on his Pharah for the most part. Valataja comes in, takes down the turret, but eyes still on Lightning as he tries to deal with Kib. He does hit a nice midi on Kib to bully him out, but he's trying to get out. Meanwhile, they were too far on the chase, got pushed out in front of their whole backline got absolutely decimated as Winghaven came in. Everyone came in. Yeah, so I love a combo. No one loves it more than me. Hard to run a combo, especially on the chase like that. I think Lightning was having second thoughts as he was trying to hit that last rocket on a kid. Didn't even finish the chase, to be honest. And he tried to get out of there with his concussion blast, but it was too late. He launched himself into a Hornet's Nest that was an established Reunited team already on the ROX point. A little bit tough there. I like trying to run a different composition. We'll see if they can get anything more out of Lightning here as he takes to the skies, immediately discorded, damage boosted right now, but he probably needs the heals. Winghaven has designs on getting him out of there. Winghaven positionally bullying him out of there. Kib taking down Nalir early on in that fight. What does Balataja have for us? He's got his pulse bomb ready and he's at the back line. That's what he has for us. Can he hit it? He does get the sticky. There goes Lightning. He was aiming for the Mercy, but you'll take the consolation prize in the Pharah instead. The Mercy probably not long for this world either. Some nice juking there, but only keeps mistakes alive momentarily. As Balataja looks for more. There's no one who can really touch him right now. He's all alone. Balataja can just kind of abuse this Reinhardt for as long as he wants. He's going to have to try to get in there. Taking down the shield. Morte does end up with the final kill on him. That means the Discord is free to go on the Pharah above. Balataja untouched so far as he is in the yellow square of victory trying to escort his team. He's just pushing them out. You cannot move forward into it. Lightning finally cleans them up. That might be the kill they need. Maybe Lightning can nail a barrage here, but they have to get in over the top perhaps. The victory square not far away from where the cart actually is. They're trying to set up a nice barrage here, but you're going to try to barrage from the backside perhaps. Is going to wait momentarily at least for the Transcend, but he's getting targeted down by Balataja, who is now back in this fray. Kib and Cruz clean up on the ground, maybe coming over the top. It leaves your team on a 4v6. This is exactly what happened at first point. You're trying to get these hero moves from your combo. You're on the chase. Why? You should not be chasing this. Look at where the cart is. Look at where your team needs your help. Balataja is up front. Winghaven hits a huge Earth Shatter and just way too greedy on that combo chase. They're going to come in here. That is going to be Reunited, taking the map, taking the set.
Round 2 complete. Final score 3-2.
Well, I gotta say, I think if we see combos in the future, especially single healer composition combos, they must play closer to your team. That you have to. You cannot leave your team all alone like that. This was a chase by Kib in the back line. Yeah, Pharah's not necessarily the chase hero you want. If you want to be chasing backline, run a Tracer or a Genji. You cannot be taking your Mercy away from your team and trying to get those kills back there. Here's my ugly mug back on the screen. Thank you for joining me today, keeping me company, as it were, as I'm rolling through this solo. We are going to have another set up here soon, but we'll probably take a break before that. I'm going to throw on the advertisement, and you know how audio for advertisements can be, so I will warn you now to keep your finger on the button. Our next game is going to be between Misfits and Endpoints. That is going to be a best of 5. I will bring us back in here maybe a little early as soon as we get a draft link up and things like that. Thank you for joining me today. This is the Lenovo Cup, also brought to you by WePlay TV. So thanks for sticking around. What you just witnessed was Reunited beating ROX, Tornado.ROX, 3-0. So here comes a word from our sponsors. Be prepared for that, and I will see you guys in a little bit.